Okay, my friends, so we are going to start our practice off in a seated position. So find your way on your bum. You can elevate your hips if you like, or you can sit on your shins if that feels more comfortable for you. And just allow these first few moments of your practice to be a time to arrive in your body. Now that might sound, a little bit strange if you don't practice yoga very often, to arrive in your body. What does that mean? And aren't we already in our bodies? But when we think about it, we move through our day and there's a lot of external distractions that are coming at us, and it's very few and far between that we actually pay attention to what's happening internally, what's going on inside our bodies. And our bodies are so intelligent, they're so complicated, and there's a vast amount of sensation and feelings going on inside the body at every single moment. So let these few moments before we begin to move our body, just giving it a few seconds of stillness, a few moments of softness, so you can gently turn the light on and scan your internal world. And we can transition into our movement and breath practice with a knowing of how we're actually doing, how our body is feeling, what emotions or feelings might be really present or really noticeable. So as you take these few moments to check in with yourself, I'm just going to kind of blabber on a little bit about something that's been going on for me for the last little bit. And it's kind of funny that this is coming up right now, because for those of you that were at my last class in Sunset Studio, where we were actually together in the physical space, it was a Saturday, it was a Vinyasa, and the practice was all about sending love and health and happiness to all beings. And we had repeated a mantra together. If you remember it, if you were there, awesome. If you don't, I'm going to remind you anyway. So it's Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, and that just translates loosely from Sanskrit to may all beings everywhere be happy and free of suffering. And this is something that I really resonate with. I actually got it tattooed on my body when I was in India in Sanskrit. And it's something that I come back to very often. And I've been dreaming about those words and just how I can make them become more true for the community, for everyone to be happy and healthy. So our practice tonight is all about encouraging happiness and health into your whole being. And that can look like so many different things for every single person. So just as we move and we breathe and we connect to ourselves, can you do so by inviting in a sense of joy, maybe even laughter? If you fall out of a posture, can you have the humor and laugh it off? And again, if you fall out of a posture, can you remember that, hey, we're here to move our bodies, and it doesn't need to look like anything in particular, and it's a very healthy thing that you're doing, this time on your mat to connect and breathe and move and be with one another. So just remember the health benefits and forget about the shapes. So let's take a breath in together. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh it away. And slowly start to blink your eyes open, and then as you breathe in, reach your arms up towards the sky. Once the arms lift up, you're going to interlace your fingers and then flip your palms up towards the sky. And allow your ribs to float outwards and inflate upwards. So encouraging the spine to get into a nice long but flexed position. So kind of like a cow pose or an angry cow, cow pose, sorry. And then pause for another breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll let our hands come down and twist towards the right. So fingertips are just going to fall towards the ground wherever they land, maybe looking over your shoulder. As you breathe in, reach the arms back up into the air, coming to center. And as you exhale, taking that twist now to your left, maybe looking back behind you. Breathing in, moving with a softness to begin here. Exhale again, twisting to your right. Inhale brings you back to center, arms reach. And just waking up the spine, exhale, twisting to your left. Inhale, let the arms reach up towards the sky. Keep your right arm lifted. Let your left fingertips come down to the floor. Really lengthen up and away from the ground. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, a little side bend over towards your right, or your left, sorry. Doesn't matter because we're going to switch sides. As you breathe in, coming through center, right hand plants, left arm lifts. As you exhale, take that side bend the opposite direction. And as you do this, really feel into your side body. Feel the sensation of stretch. Going at a pace that feels natural and rhythmic for you. We'll go one more time each way. Then as you bring yourself back to center, if you're sitting on your heels, just come onto your bum. If you're sitting cross-legged, switch the cross of your legs. Let your hands come to the floor beside you and then walk your fingertips towards one another behind you. So your pinky fingers are coming close towards one another. Your palms might be on the ground, your fingertips might be on the ground. You're gonna roll the shoulder blades together and puff up the heart. Your gaze can be forward, you can be looking towards your computer screen or whatever it is that you're using. Or you can look up gently. Just find what works best for you and your body in this moment. And try to find a little bit of happiness here. You might even lift the sides of your mouth, coming into a gentle smile. We'll take one more breath in. Stay for the breath out. Keep your left hand where it is. Inhale, sweep your right arm up into the air and then come into a little bit of a deeper twist here. So your right hand's gonna come to the floor, maybe next to your hip, and then rotate your chest just a little bit more. So you're looking back behind you. And as you breathe in, sweep the right arm back up into the air. Let the fingertips come down to the floor beside you. And then we're just switching sides. Inhaling the left arm up. And exhale, just taking a little bit of a twist, turning back. As you breathe in, come back to center. Let your left hand come down to the floor. And then just walk yourself back up. But keep your hands back behind you and interlace your fingers. Begin to draw your knuckles down and take your shoulder blades closer together so your heart finds even more spaciousness here. And if you haven't guessed it yet, we're going to be doing lots of heart opening. So lots of expansion through the chest and just making sure that our shoulders are ready for it. So we'll take one more breath in so you can get the shoulder blades just a little closer together. Stay for the breath out. Good. Inhale, arms reach up into the air. You can clap your hands at the top. And then as you exhale, bring your hands forward in front of you. Find yourself into a tabletop position. As you find your table, right away we're going to begin to move through some cat-cows in more of a circular motion than a linear motion. So first, the breath in, the belly can soften, the tail and the crown can lift. And then as you exhale, roll your chest, your belly over to the right, and then begin to round your back. Continue the circle, inhaling, rolling to the left and then down, and exhaling over to the right and then up. So really clawing into the mat with your fingertips, trying to find as much of a rotation through the spine, through the hips, through the shoulders as you can.
Getting into all the little nooks and crannies. It's like you're opening up windows from, or in a stuffy house, the doors and the windows have been closed forever and you're opening up and there's actual fresh air moving through the whole house. So you can think of your body as the house and you want to get that fresh air through every last room. You can start to switch the direction as you're ready. Go the other way, staying conscious and aware of how your hands are on the mat, fingers spread wide. Moving in your own time. Let's go one more circle around. And then once that's complete for you, find neutral. Take your right fingers, turn them to the right a little bit, left fingers to the left, and then again, draw just a little bit of a circle with your torso. So just rolling your torso around as much as what feels good for you. Vinyasa, we're on our hands a lot, so we gotta make sure our wrists are awake and ready for weight bearing, and then switch the direction of the circles, go the opposite way. And I can definitely appreciate that, sometimes when we're working in certain positions in our yoga practice, some of it doesn't make us feel very happy. Wrist work isn't the happiest time, but there is health and there is benefit to it. So once that feels about even for you, we're going to take our hands off of the mat, come up onto your hands or your knees, and just give your hands a little bit of a shake here. So we're going to do a breath practice called Breath of Joy, but from a kneeling position. So it's a little bit different, and our exhale is going to be like you're blowing out a candle. So, okay? So we're going to go really slow for the first maybe 2 rounds, and then you can go at a pace that feels good for you. We're gonna, I'll just give you a quick little demo what it's gonna look like. You're gonna inhale 3 parts. Inhale, arms up. Inhale, arms out. Inhale, arms towards the sky. And then like you're blowing out a candle, arms reach back like you're going into a child's pose. So we'll do it all together. 3-part inhale through the nose. Doesn't need to be very forceful. Inhale up, side, up, like you're blowing out a candle. Inhale up, out, up, inhale up, out, up, up, out, up, a little bit faster. Going at a pace that feels good for you. 5 more. 4 more. Last 3. 2 more. Last one, we're gonna finish in child's pose and then stay. Let your hands come forward, keep your hips towards your heels. Take a deep breath in. Maybe sigh the breath away. And then as you breathe in, climb yourself back up onto your hands and knees, curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Find some movement. Let this position be a happy place for you. So if it feels good to press one heel down and bend the opposite knee, do it. If you like to give your hips a little sway, side to side, get a little dancey with it. It's also International Dance Day, so we're gonna be doing a little bit of dancing. Nothing too crazy though. Or if you prefer stillness, come to stillness. Be in your body. Take one more breath. And then gaze towards your thumbs, make your way to the top of your mat any which way that makes sense for you to get there. Once you arrive, take hold of your elbows, allow your upper body to drape down towards the ground, and give yourself a couple of pulses. So your head is heavy, your elbows are relaxed, and you're pulsing in a way that feels good. It's not forceful, it just feels like a little bit of a bounce for your low back, a little bit of traction for the spine, and just waking up those hamstrings a little bit. Yoga doesn't need to be so serious, so get a little bouncy with it. Let's go 3 more bounces, 2 more, 1 more. Come to stillness. Slide your hands up your shins, engage your quadriceps, slide your hips slightly back, tailbone Presses towards the back of the room, crown towards the front of the room. Roll your shoulder blades back, engage your core, halfway lift. As you exhale, bend your knees and fold again. As you inhale, press down into your feet, sweep your arms out wide and then up, reaching towards the sun, big breath in. As you exhale, pull your hands down to your heart. Close your eyes here for a brief moment. And if it resonates with you, repeat this little mantra to yourself either in Sanskrit or in English. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free of suffering. Then on the next breath in, reach your arms up into the air, big stretch. As you exhale, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers with the thumb that doesn't feel as natural on top. So switch the clasp of your hands. Roll your shoulder blades together and draw your knuckles down towards the ground. Take a soft bend in your knees so you have a little bit of buoyancy here. Take another breath in, curl your heart open. And then as you exhale, dive forward, hinging from your hips. You can stay halfway, or maybe the knuckles come up towards the sky and the head drops down towards the ground. If your head is relaxing down, you might like to give your head a little shake like you're saying no, and then like you're saying yes. And then if it feels right for you, you might be bouncing just a tiny little bit here through the knees and allowing your arms to kind of pulse forward a little bit, but only if that feels right for you. Take one more breath in. Stay for the breath out. Then as you inhale, chair pose, really big dip of the hips, sink them down low, reach the arms up, engage your glutes. Send your hips even further back, take a peek down at your toes, make sure you can see them, and then zip your low belly in. Imagine you're wearing skinny jeans while you're doing your yoga practice. You could be doing that. Your cameras are off, some of you. Let's take one more breath in. As you exhale, fold. Hands to shins, lift up halfway, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, fingertips to the floor, step your right foot back only, and then wiggle around a little bit. So just find a little bit of movement. You can get a little dancey with it if you like, kind of shifting your weight forward and back, maybe going around in a little circle. You know, one of the best things, in my opinion, about yoga is that it's not about, it's not a militant thing where it's like, do this, it has to look this certain way. It's completely the opposite. So you can really have some freedom of expression and get into all those little nooks and crannies of your body. So once you feel like you've gotten some wiggles out, lower your back knee down to the ground, squeeze your inner thighs together. You can keep your back toes tucked or lie them flat, whatever feels preferable for you. And then as you breathe in, begin to sweep your arms up into the air. Now as your arms reach up, you're going to turn your palms to face towards me, towards the front of the room. And then with as much range of motion you can conjure, you're going to start to reach your arms back behind you, but nothing else is moving. It's just the arms. So now the palms are facing kind of out to the side. And then you're going to continue to reach the arms back, fingers pointing towards the back of the room if you can get there. And then the hands are going to come back down. We're going to do another circle like that. So inhale the arms up like you're holding onto a beach ball, palms face one another. And then start to turn the palms out, reach the fingertips away from your center and back behind you, keeping your core engaged and your inner thighs pulled in together. One more time, big breath in, arms reach up. Find the happiness here. Exhale, arms circle back as best you can. Last time, your arms are gonna reach up into the air, maybe a tiny little back bend, just the upper back starts to extend a little bit longer. As you exhale, hands find the ground. Pick up your back knee, step your left foot to meet your right, find a plank position. Now plank is everyone's favorite pose. I did a poll once and everybody said it was their favorite, so we're gonna spend a little bit of time here. Just kidding. But it's one of my favorites because every single muscle in the body is working, so it's a very important posture for our strength, so our health. So you can stay in plank, just a regular old chill plank, or you can find a little bit of movement. Maybe you get a little dancey with it. Maybe you roll around a little bit around your wrists and your palms. You roll around on your toes. And if you're taking those circles, maybe you go the other way. And hey, plank all of a sudden became a really fun pose. Awesome. I'd high five you, but you'd fall over. Nice job. Take one more circle if you're taking the circles, and then hold in your stillness. Big breath in. As you exhale, let your knees come down. Bend your elbows, but let them graze your rib cage. So your chest comes down nice and slow. Once the belly touches, untuck your toes and imagine someone's got hold of your toes and they're pulling your feet back. So there's as much length in your legs and your low back as possible. And then take your hands off of your mat. Left hand to the left, right hand to the right. Slide your elbows up towards the sky. Press really strongly into the tops of your feet and lengthen your tailbone back. So you'll feel your low belly engage. Keep all of that. And then as you breathe in, begin to curl your heart up. Roll your shoulder blades together. And then allow your gaze to come forward if that feels good for you. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Think about your chest reaching forward and then down. I'm going to do that twice more, adding on a little bit. Inhale, curl your heart up. Maybe at the top you look over your right shoulder. As you exhale, slowly lower down, but keep your heart reaching forward so there's traction in the spine. And then as you breathe in again, you're unfurling like a beautiful fern or a flower of some sort, maybe looking over your left shoulder. As you exhale, keep reaching the heart forward as you lower all the way back down. Beautiful. Hands are going to come back to the floor underneath your elbows. So in a chaturanga arm position, tuck your toes under. You can do this through your knees or just straight into plank. You're going to take a deep breath in. As you exhale all the way up, find your plank. If your knees were on the ground, that's fine too. And then lift your hips up towards the sky. Our happy place once again, down dog. So if you're feeling funky fresh and you want to take it a little dancey, maybe your hips are going for a little, shake side to side. You're getting all Shakira-like up in your bedroom or your office, wherever you're at. Maybe you start to hop your bum up into the air. If you've ever done a booty yoga class, then you might know what I'm talking about. Try to get your butt, the flesh of your butt, to be really soft so all the skin goes, if it could make that noise. If you're just hanging out and you're a regular old down dog, that's fine too. Take one more breath. Maybe side away. And then gaze towards your thumbs. Slide your right leg up towards the sky. Open your hips so you let your right hip go over your left hip and bend your right knee. Try to get your right heel towards your right butt cheek. Really send the right knee up towards the sky and back behind you so your arms are straight and strong and long. Find a little bit of happiness and joy here. Maybe you smile. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come forward slowly. Your right knee is going to tap the outside of your right elbow as best you can. As you inhale, the right knee lifts again back up towards the sky so your hips are open. As you exhale, slowly the knee comes in towards the chest. You round your back and press strongly into your hands. As you inhale again, the right knee sweeps up towards the sky. Open those hips. Exhale, curl it under. Right knee to left elbow. Do your best. Squeeze it up and in. Good. Inhale, right leg lifts up so the hips stay square. Three-legged dog. As you exhale, step your right foot through in between your hands. So you're finding your lunge and then you're finding some movement. You're getting a little dancey with it. Maybe your hips move in a circular motion. Maybe they move in like a figure eight motion. Maybe they move in like you're trying to write your name in cursive motion. It's a really sexy movement, so you're welcome. Or maybe you're staying still. That's fine too. Once you feel like you've got some of those dance moves out, your right knee is going to stay on top of your right ankle. You're squeezing your inner thighs together like you're holding onto a tennis ball. You don't want it to drop. Now as you breathe in, slowly start to let your fingertips come off the ground and then reach them back behind you. So your chest is just hovering off of your thigh. You're in a power lunge position. Your shoulder blades are away from your ears. Keep the squeeze of the inner thighs. Let your gaze come just slightly forward. And then on a breath in, reach the arms all the way up into the air. As you exhale, find that crescent lunge. Beautiful. So we're going to find a focal point. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, come back into your power lunge. The arms reach back, the chest reaches forward. Keep your chest in this position, but now as you breathe in, arms are gonna reach in front of you, your front leg straightens and your back knee bends. So you're doing a reverse lunge. As you exhale, back into your power lunge, front knee bends, arms sweep back, left leg straightens. As you breathe in, arms reach in front of you like you're holding onto a beach ball, right leg straightens, left knee bends. Exhale back into your power lunge. It's confusing, you got one more. Inhale, switch the bend and the straighten of the legs. Exhale, back into your power lunge. Inhale, arms reach up into the air like you're catching that beach ball. As you exhale, fingertips find the floor. Step your left foot up to meet the right foot. Beautiful job. Slide your hands up your shins, lift up just halfway. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach your arms all the way up into the air, bring the palms to touch. As you exhale, bring your hands together to your heart. Close your eyes and repeat the mantra to yourself if you so wish. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free of suffering. And really feel that. You can blink your eyes open, take a deep breath in, reach your arms all the way up into the air. As you exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. As you breathe in, reach your knuckles down, roll your shoulder blades together, puff up your chest. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, fold towards the ground. You can stay still, you can get a little bit dancey with it. You can find a little bit of extra movement through the chest, the shoulders, the hips, by bending deeply into one of your knees, doesn't matter which because you're gonna switch, and let your knuckles reach in the direction of that bent knee. So if the left knee is bent, the knuckles go to the left, and then maybe the right knee bends and the knuckles go to the right. You can do that one more time each way if that's feeling good for you. And then coming to center, taking a deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. As you breathe in, chair pose, fingers sweep high, hips stay low. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Really reach through your fingers and squeeze your butt. Low belly draws in, nice and strong. Take a big inhale here, get strong through your fingertips. As you exhale, fold over your legs. Slide your hands to your shins, lift up just halfway. Exhale, fingertips to the floor, left foot only steps back, coming into your lunge position. And again, lowering the back knee and finding a little bit of movement. Your hips can go around in a circular motion. You can give them a little shake side to side. You might like to draw some figure eights or get dancey with it. And then when you feel ready, right knee is going to stay over the right ankle. Your back toes can be tucked under or lie them flat, whatever feels better for you. But really squeeze your inner thighs together. It's like you're trying to bring your front foot towards your back foot and your back foot towards your front foot. So there's lots of integrity in your legs. Your low belly is pulled in, it's nice and strong. On an inhale, the arms are gonna reach up into the air. We're just gonna pause for a moment. So keeping the hips square, right hip slightly back, left hip slightly forward, low belly drawn in. You're gonna start to circle your arms back as much of a range of motion as you possibly can conjure. So the arms start to reach back, nothing else is really moving. Nice and slow, really feeling into the entire range of motion in your shoulders and enjoying it. It's happy. The shoulders are saying, thank you, thank you, thank you for moving me, for creating more space for the chest, for the breath. Take one more of these slow circles. Feel every little click and clack and crick and creak. And then on that last breath, then reach the arms up. Maybe a little back bend just at the upper spine if that feels good for you. And then as you exhale, the hands find the floor. We step back into our plank position where we're gonna hang out for a little bit of time. So if you're feeling really funky, again, you can dance around in your plank. You could always lower the knees, or you can begin to take some hand to shoulder taps. So one hand comes up towards the shoulder and then just switching it out. As you're doing this, stay really aware, really connected to your body. How is it feeling? What parts can you soften? Maybe it's the jaw, maybe it's the face, maybe the tongue. And what parts really need to have your attention, some strength? The core, the glutes, the legs. Good. If you're taking these little shoulder taps, even it out one more time each way. And then hold your plank. Take a really delicious breath in. Breathe all the way down into your belly. As you exhale, option to lower the knees or shift forward. Bend your elbows just halfway. Hover chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or come to the tops of your feet. Lift your thighs. Open your heart. Upward facing dog. Stay for another round of breath. So whatever position you're in, whether it be cobra or up dog, pause for another inhale. Really root the tops of your feet down into the ground. Roll your shoulders back. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, down dog. Finding a little bit of movement as you arrive. Give your hips a little shake. Give them a little dance. Draw some circles, some figure eights. Your name in cursive, whatever you like. Don't stop moving. Even if you're in more stillness, you're still moving. Your breath is moving through your body. You can feel the blood flowing. So really connect to that. And then as you're ready, we'll let our dancing subside. And then take an inhale to reach the left leg up into the air. Take a bend in the knee and then float the left knee towards the sky. So you're opening up those hips quite a lot here. Really feeling into the sensation in that left hip, the back of the right leg, the strength of the arms. Take one more breath in. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Try to give it a little bit of a tap. Inhale, left knee lifts back up towards the sky. Exhale, knee towards nose, round the spine. Inhale again, left knee lifts up so those hips are open. Exhale, cross it under, right knee, or left knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg reaches straight up. As you exhale, step the foot through in between the hands. As you find your lunge, get a little dancey, move around a little bit. Veer off normal. Don't be normal. Be you. Be funky. Be unique. Move in ways that maybe your body hasn't moved in a while. Beautiful. And then as you are ready, find your lunge, strong and stable. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Look forward to find your balance. And then as you breathe in, you're going to start to get off of your fingertips just a little bit and reach your fingertips back. So you're in a power lunge. Your chest is just a couple inches away from your left thigh. Your back leg is strong. Your shoulders are rolled back, and there's energy reaching through your fingertips towards the back of your room. Beautiful. On your inhale, the arms are going to reach up into the air, finding your crescent lunge. If you need to make any adjustments as you get here, feel free to do so. Find that happy place. Maybe lift the corner of your mouth. And then that funky backwards lunge position. We're going to take a breath in, come back into our power lunge. So the arms reach back, the chest reaches forward. Sorry, this is our exhale. Stay here for your exhale. And then as you breathe in, the arms reach forward, the front leg straightens, the back knee bends. Exhale, arms reach back, front knee bends, back leg straightens. Inhale into your reverse lunge. Exhale into your power lunge. One more time. Inhale, opposite bend and straighten of the legs. Exhale into your power lunge. Inhale, arms reach all the way up into the air. Exhale, hands find the ground. Step your right foot all the way up to meet your left foot, and then slide those hands up your shins, halfway lift, breathe in. As you exhale, fold. As you inhale, stand tall, reach your arms all the way up into the air, bring the palms to touch. As you exhale, bring your hands together at your heart, close your eyes. So a beautiful opportunity to, again, repeat the mantra that we've been working with. You could have a sip of water here if you like as well. Reconnect to your breath if you've lost it. Really feel into your body here. You might be feeling some heat, some of your muscles being very awake and alive, full of energy right now.
Your heart beating a little bit faster. Your breath flowing a little bit more full. Notice the state of your mind. Take one more breath. And slowly start to blink the eyes open. Take a deep breath in, sweep your arms all the way up into the air. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, fold towards the ground. Slide your hands up your shins, lift up just halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into a plank position. Hold your plank, stay still if you like, or let your right leg come off of the ground and then take those shoulder taps again. So one hand to one shoulder, other hand to the other shoulder. Having that one leg lifted, just for a little extra fun. It's a lot of joy. Now if the one foot is lifted, just swapping, going the other way, finding your strength, your stability, your balance. Good. If the foot is lifted, lower it back down, find your plank, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, move through your Vinyasa, Yogi's Choice, knees down or Chaturanga. Inhaling just for one breath into your back bend. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Pause in your down dog. You can be dancey or you can find movement in your choice. Big breath in, big breath out. Next inhale, right leg lifts towards the sky. Keep your hips square, but find some pulses here. So your right leg lifts and lifts and lifts and lifts. Let's go 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted. Big breath in. Really push your right heel up and back. As you exhale, knee towards nose, round your spine. Create space to step the foot in between the hands. Now walk your back foot in just a tiny bit and then bring your heel to the floor. So you're in a warrior one stance where your left toes are pointing just a little bit towards the left. So there's an external rotation from your hip and your right knee's right over top of your right ankle. From here, you're gonna find a focal point in front of you, really power up your legs and inhale the arms all the way up into your warrior one. Roll your shoulders away from your ears, pull your inner thighs towards center. So again, you're finding that action of front foot back and back foot forward. And then take your hands behind your back, find an interlace there. As you breathe in, reach the knuckles down, roll the shoulder blades together, engage through the low belly. As you exhale, humble warrior, right shoulder sneaks in towards the inside of the right knee as the knuckles reach towards the sky. If you can, let your gaze go towards your left heel, and you'll see in your periphery if your right hip is moving way out to the right. If that's happening, try to send your right hip back so you're squeezing those inner thighs together and finding strength through the inner thighs. Take one more breath. On your next inhale, start to lift yourself back up. Keep your hands interlaced behind your back. Once you come up, straighten through your front leg, pick up the toes, turn the toes to the left, turn your left toes to the left. So you're in a wide-legged stance with your hands behind your back, squeezing your butt, and reaching your knuckles down. Good, take a deep breath and open the chest. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, fold. You can keep your knuckles reaching towards the sky, or you can take a little bit of movement. Knuckles reach towards the right side of your room, towards the left side of your room. Back and forth at a pace, at a rhythm that feels good for you, creating more space in your shoulder and your chest. If you're finding movement, eventually just find your way in stillness. Allow your fingertips to come down to the floor just underneath your shoulders, and then walk your hands forward, but keep your hips back. So it's kind of like a down dog, but you want to keep your hips and your feet in line with one another. So really push your bum back in space and reach your arms forward in space so you feel some traction and some length in your spine. If you like, you can take a little bit of a bounce here, taking your chest and allowing it to kind of soften towards the ground. If it doesn't feel good for you, don't do it. Allowing the head to relax, take one more breath here. Good, and then sweep your hands towards your back foot just for a moment. Maybe you can hold on to the foot or the ankle, maybe the calf, and begin to bring your chest a little bit closer towards that leg, lengthening through the back of your hamstring just a little bit more. Take another breath in.
Stay for the breath out. As you breathe in, sweep your hands towards your front foot, pausing for a moment. Again, maybe bringing your chest a little closer towards your right thigh. Finding the happiness in the shape, maybe smiling. Good, and then letting your fingertips just come down to the floor close to your right foot. You're gonna begin to pivot your right toes so they're facing towards the front of the room, and your right knee is right over top of your right ankle. So your legs are in a warrior two stance. Your right hand's gonna find the floor just on the inside of your right foot, and begin to shoot your left arm up into the air for side angle pose. Now in side angle, we're lengthening obviously through the upper part of our body, so the left side is getting stretched here, but we don't want to compromise crunching the right side of our body. So see if you can lengthen the right side of your body by engaging through your left side body. Good. Left arm can be lifting up, straight up, or the left arm can be reaching bicep by the ear. Your variation, your choice. Take one more breath. Really power up your legs as you breathe in, reverse warrior. The left hand's gonna reach up and back. The right arm follows and then reaches up and back as well. Stay in your peaceful warrior and begin to straighten through your front leg. Try to get long through not only the right side body, but also the left side body. So rather than compressing the left side, see if you can you can compress a little bit through the right side so both of your waists are long and getting a stretch. Good. Now rebend your front knee. Find a breath in to bring yourself back into your warrior two. Gaze towards the front of your room, or towards me. As you exhale, we're coming into crescent lunge. So you're gonna bring your left arm forward and up. Left toes come to the ground. A little bit of funky transition. Your hands can come down to your hips here, looking at a focal point. You're gonna take your left foot up and we're gonna land in figure four. So nice and slow, left foot comes up, bending through the knee, and then crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. So big flex in the left foot, hips are sinking down, finding your balance. Your hands can be wherever you like. If you prefer them at the heart, it's a great place for them to be as well. And if you like, maybe get a little bit dancey with it. You might start to let your hips go up and down a little bit, feeling into the sensation of those hips. Taking just one more breath, really enjoy it, find your happiness here. If you fall out of it, that's awesome, round of applause. Nice and slow as you breathe in, you're gonna start to bring yourself back up. Your left knee is gonna come in towards your chest, give it a squeeze, and roll out that ankle a little bit. Say, I love you, ankle, thank you for supporting me throughout the day. Roll it the other way. Cool. And then you're gonna step your left foot to the floor behind your right leg. So it's gonna swing out behind you. And you're gonna bring kind of the pinky toes-ish towards one another. The right hand's gonna stay out around the right thigh or hip area. As you breathe in, the left arm reaches up. And then as you exhale, take a little side bend over. Pause for another breath and see if you can rotate your top shoulder back a little bit. Open your chest. Stay for the breath out. As you breathe in, come all the way back up to center. Hands come together at the heart. The left foot comes to the inside of the right leg, tree pose. Can land anywhere. Toes could be on the floor. The foot could be on the shin. The foot could be up on the inner thigh, whatever you like. You want to keep your hips square, navel pulled in, tailbone long, hands at the heart. Maybe if you've been practicing this posture for a long time and you want a little bit more challenge, you can reach your branches up towards the sky and lift your gaze up towards the sun. Wherever you are, find your happiness, your joy. Enjoy the shape, enjoy the sensations in the body. You're here, you beautiful trees. Take one more breath. All right, last little bit of balance. If your arms are lifted, you're gonna bring them back down. Your knee's gonna come back in towards your chest. You could stay right here, or maybe the hands come underneath your hamstring or underneath your thigh on your hamstring. Pull your knee in a little bit closer towards your chest, and then see if you can point your toes towards the screen or maybe even up towards the sky. Ooh, you guys are so balanced. You've been doing yoga. Good. Lowering the foot as you're ready, letting the foot touch the ground. And then get a little dancey with it. Let your hips go for a little shake side to side. Bend your knees. The only person looking at you is me right now, so get a little dancey, get a little funky, a little fresh. Give it a little bit of a shake. Maybe a deep breath in and a big breath out. And then close your eyes. Take your feet a little bit wider than hips distance, so maybe the width of your mat. And then similar to the breath of joy that we did at the beginning with the modification of going into child's pose, you're gonna do the same thing, but this time, rather than doing a breath through the mouth like you're blowing out a candle, you can choose either to go like a big sigh, or you can go, or you can go, or you can make whatever noise you want. Or if you just want to go, that's fine too. So your choice, make a sound, let it create some happiness in your body. You might laugh, you might giggle, it's cool. So as you're ready, nice and slow, we'll start. Inhale, arms up, out, up, up, out, up, up, out, up, out, up, out, up, out, up. Two more. Inhale, arms all the way up, stand tall, bring your palms together. Close your eyes. Exhale, let your hands come down to your heart. Keep your eyes closed. Maybe you repeat the mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free of suffering. Walk your feet to be the distance of your hips apart. Blink your eyes open, sweep the arms down, out and up, big breath in. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold towards the ground. Slide your hands up your shins, lift up just halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, plank. So you can stay in plank. You can do the hand to shoulder taps with your feet on the floor or with one foot lifted. Or if you want to try something a little funky, the left hand comes towards your left hip. Your right foot comes off the ground. So just your left foot and your right hand are on the floor. And then you switch. Left hand to the earth, right foot down. Right hand takes hold of your right thigh. Left foot comes off the ground just an inch. Give it a try one more time if you like. Finding that awkward balance. Feeling into your power and your strength. Being kind and compassionate to yourself. Finding your plank once again. Take a deep breath in. You're going to exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. So you can take your knees down and then your chest just coming down to the floor any which way that makes sense to you. And then once you arrive, again, fingertips are going to come off to the side. Really press down into the tops of your feet. You want to protect your low back by engaging your low belly, excuse me, and lengthening your tailbone towards the back of your heels. And then as you breathe in, we're going to come up in a circular motion. So you're going to lead with your right shoulder. You'll look to the right. As you come to the top, you'll turn to the left, your gaze to the left, and then lower down through the right shoulder first. We'll go twice more. Inhale, right shoulder lifts up. Exhale, right shoulder lowers down. Keep those legs engaged. Inhale up. Exhale around, and then we're switching. So left shoulder lifts up first. Inhale, lift up. Look to the right. Lower the left shoulder down. Inhale, left shoulder lifts. Look to the right. Exhale, shoulder down, right shoulder down. One more time. Inhale, big circle. Keep the low belly tight. Exhale, lower all the way down. Hands to the mat. Press yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Get there any which way that makes sense for you. Once you arrive, get a little hip dip, little dancey dance session in. Find some movement that feels good for you. Find your happy place within this position. Take one more breath. And then finding stillness for a brief moment, inhale your left leg up towards the sky, big stretch. Exhale, step your foot through in between your hands. Walk your back foot in just a little bit. enough that your heel can come to the floor, and your right toes, rather than pointing straight forward, they're a little bit out to the right. So there's an external rotation. It's much safer for your hip. You're gonna bend your left knee a lot, squeeze your inner thighs together, find your focal point in front of you, and then with strong legs, start to lift your torso and your arms up, coming into your warrior one. Of course, if you need to wiggle around a little bit once you get here, go for it. When we go into humble warrior, it's really helpful to have the feet wider than hips distance. So if that first time around you felt really unbalanced, just take your feet apart from the center, so your choice. Take another breath in. As you exhale, the hands are going to come behind the back. Find an interlace there. Draw the knuckles down, squeeze the inner thighs together, engage your core. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, left shoulder comes towards the inside of the left knee. The knuckles reach towards the sky, the crown towards the ground. Keep that activation through the center of your body. So if your left hip is swinging out to the side, see if you can wrap the butt underneath so that left glute is really active. So is the right glute. Take one more breath. Very nice. Your knuckles are going to lead you back up. Breathe yourself all the way back in or up, and then straighten your front leg. Turn the toes to the right. Turn your right toes to the right. Find that wide-legged stance again. Take a deep inhale. Open your chest. As you exhale, fold on down. This time we're going to let the hands release right away. So fingertips down to the floor. Walking them just a little bit in front of you, and begin to draw a big circle with your torso, kind of like we did at the very beginning. So kind of like your down dog or your cat-cow, but a barrel roll through the chest and the belly. Try to get as much space as you can in the front and the back and the sides. You got it. One more circle around, really get that digestive system churning and moving. We do yoga not just for our health, but or not for just our happiness, but our health. It's so great for all the internal workings of our body, as well as obviously the external parts of our body. We get stronger, more flexible. We just have more freedom of movement. So it's quite beautiful. You're gonna come to stillness. Start to walk your hands towards the back foot just to give it a little bit of a stretch through your side body and your hamstring of your right leg. Take a big breath in. Stay for the breath out. Inhale, climb your hands towards that front foot. Pause. Give yourself a moment, a stretch, a breath. Good, then begin to bend through your front knee. Your toes are going to turn forward. Your left knee bends a lot. You can take a little peek back at your right foot, and you want heel to arch alignment. Left hand's going to come on the inside of your left foot, just somewhere on close to the inner arch. And then as you breathe in, the right arm reaches up into the air, coming into your side angle pose. So keeping your hips nice and low, your left hand's on the floor, you're engaging your abdominal muscles, and you're being really mindful again that you're not collapsing or compressing too much through your left side body. You're staying nice and long, so that right side body needs to contract a little bit in order for both of the side bodies to be long. You could reach your right arm over your ear if you like. If you're taking that option, think about your right shoulder rolling back so your heart is open. Beautiful. Now really root down into your feet. On your next inhale, peaceful warrior. So you're coming all the way up. The right hand lowers down, the left arm reaches up. Simultaneously, the left leg straightens. So once you come into this position, that left side body starts to really lengthen, but now our right side is starting to compress. So see if you can lengthen the right side a little bit by engaging the left side. Those obliques are turned on. Try not to lock out your knees. A little soft bend is always fine. Take a breath. Next, inhale, warrior two. Left arm reaches forward. Find your shoulders right over your hips. Sink nice and low into those hips. And then coming into our crescent lunge, we're turning towards the front of the room. The back toes spin down. The heel lifts up. You find your focal point. You find your balance. You find your happiness here. And we're going to come all the way forward and land in our ankle crossed over the thigh, so into our figure four. So as you're ready, wade into the left foot. Step your right foot all the way up. See if you can cross it over gracefully. If it doesn't happen gracefully, that's cool. It's all good. Flex through the foot. Sink those hips down. Maybe the hands come to the heart. Maybe you get a little fancy with your hips, give them a little shake. Maybe you fall out of it. It's almost kind of like, I don't know, it's nice sometimes when we fall out of it because we're like, oh my gosh, how cool is it that I have this body, this human experience, that I'm not a yoga robot, and I fall over and then I get back up. And it's a great lesson in life. So yay for yoga. So we're gonna pause here just for one more breath. You're all looking real good. On your next breath in, we're gonna make our way up, draw the knee in towards the chest, give it a little squeeze, and then say thank you to your ankle by rolling it around. Circle it one way, get a little dancey with it the other way. Good, and then bring it to stillness, and we're gonna step the foot to the outside of the opposite leg. So you're gonna sweep it behind you, and then pinky toes are coming somewhat close together-ish. Your left hand comes down to your left hip or thigh. Can you guys see me? There we go. And then as you breathe in, the right arm reaches up into the air. As you exhale, you can use a little bit of weight on this left hand to slide it down and lengthen through that right side body. Whew, feels so good. Take another breath in. Maybe open your chest just a little bit more. Stay for the breath out. As you breathe in, tree pose. You're coming back up. Your right foot finds the inside of your left shin or thigh or floor, whatever works for you. Try to square off your hips. So if one hip's really high, try to lower it. Get those mula bandha engaged, so inner thighs and pelvic floor is lifted. Hands at heart if you like, shoulders rolled back. If you'd like to take your yoga practice to the next level, reach your arms up, maybe lift your gaze. Really think about rooting down through the points of connection, so the sole of the left foot, and lifting up like you're literally a tree or a flower. Taking another big expansive breath in. Now as you exhale nice and slow, the knee's gonna come back in towards the chest. You're gonna take hold of the shin, the knee, the leg. You could stay here, or hands around the hamstring, knee pulls in, leg extends forward or up. Let me see them toes. Very nice. Good. Hold here one more breath. As you exhale, slowly let the foot come down. Let your hands come down by your sides. Take your feet a little bit wider than hips distance. Give yourself a little shake, a little dance. You could close your eyes and literally just move to the internal music that's going on inside your body. Give it a little shake, a little dance, a little wiggle. Get a little funky fresh. You might snap your fingers and start to literally dance around in your living room or wherever you are. And then just pull it back in, find your way into stillness. Let your hands come together at your heart, and maybe you repeat the powerful mantra. And how powerful would it be if we all were speaking the same thing inside of our minds at this exact moment? How powerful it is. We have no idea. We have no clue the capacity of our mind power. We have a hint of an idea, but I really believe that we are just, we don't know nearly as much as what is existing out there. So if we all just take a moment to ponder, to put the love out there, that all beings everywhere are happy and free of suffering, who knows, it can't hurt, right? So just take one more moment, one more breath. And then on an inhale, as slowly as you can, you're gonna let your fingers go down, out, and up, but let your whole breath take the arms into that circle. So really slow, really mindful, feeling that whole range of motion of your arms and your shoulders. Once the arms lift all the way up, swan dive it down, let the whole exhale take you there. Soft bend in your knees, hinge from your hips, just allowing yourself to take your time to come down into your forward fold. And then inhale, lengthen your spine, halfway lift. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. You're gonna step back into a tabletop. Take your knees as wide as your yoga mat. And then right away, sweep your right arm up into the air as if you could touch your ceiling. So big stretch up, open your heart. As you exhale, thread your right arm underneath the bridge of your left. Allow the right shoulder to come down to the ground, your right cheek, and perhaps the left arm lifts up into the air. Maybe the hand rests on the small of the back. Take one more inhale. A full exhale. If your left hand's not on the ground, bring it there. And then as you breathe in, begin to unwind, lifting the left arm all the way up into the air. Pause here for a moment. You're gonna spin your left toes over to the left and extend your right leg behind you. So you're in a side plank with your left knee on the ground. And then really press down into your right foot. Your right foot. So you're really extended and strong through your right leg. Take your right hand behind your head, just at the nape of your neck, and then allow your chest to expand forward and up as your head falls heavily into your hands. So you're opening up your chest. And just pause here for another big inhale. As you exhale, slowly come on out. The hand will find the ground. Your knees will come back into that V shape, big toes touching, knees wide. Once you land, inhale, the right arm lifts up again. As you exhale, thread it under the body. Oh, just kidding, sorry, other side. Haha, joking. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, thread it. I'm like, feels like a lot of opening. Weird. Okay, that's better. So give yourself a moment. Once you land in the shape, you can play around with how the shape might feel best in your body. Let this be your happy place. Take one more round of breath. And if your right hand's not on the floor, bring it there. Take an inhale to unwind, reaching the left arm up into the air. Pause. A little bit of a funky transition, but the right toes turn to the right, the whole shin pivots. The left leg extends, so you're in a side plank. Right knee on the ground, left leg extended straight. Left foot really grounds into the earth. And then cup the back of your head with your left hand. So you're kind of holding onto the nape of your neck. And then curl your heart open. Let the head be heavy in your hand. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly begin to unwind. Left hand comes down to the ground. Knees come together, child's pose. Hips towards heels. You can find your favorite variation. Maybe your arms reach back. Maybe they reach forward. Maybe you give your hips a little bit of a shake here. Little movement side to side. So as you remain in this child's pose for just a few more moments, I want you to perhaps ponder the fact, I believe, that happiness and health is something that is available to all of us, and to some degree it is a choice. Our perception really is everything, and I'm not disregarding, depression and mental illnesses and a lot of obviously terrible things that happen in the world. It's kind of a subcategory that I'm talking about, but we do have the benefit of choosing to do things that make us more happy, and gratitude's a really big part of that. So, taking your time throughout your days where, things might seem maybe really challenging or chaotic, or there's a lot of negativity going on out there, but we can focus on more positive things and consume more positive things, and as a result feel happier and be healthier. So just taking this idea with you to bed tonight, or maybe when you wake up in the morning, to choose happiness and choose health.
And it doesn't have to look like a yoga practice. It doesn't have to look like eating your greens. It can be a multitude of different things. So just asking yourself that question throughout your day, is this something that creates and supports my happiness and my health, or is it the opposite? And then maybe just, having that awareness and then making a different choice. So in your child's pose, if your arms are reaching back, just reach them forward and take a little crawl with your hands over to the right just for a brief moment. And then slowly creep your hands through center into the left just for a brief moment. And then as your hands come back to center, any way that makes sense to you, you're going to come onto your back. So that might mean that you just flop onto your belly and you roll onto your spine. Maybe that means you come on up and you grab a sip of water and throw a sweater on and some socks. And then you come onto your spine. Just make yourself comfortable on your back and take your time to do so. And once you get there, I want you to find some happy positions. Doesn't necessarily need to be happy baby, but some postures, some stretches, some shapes that feel really good in your body. And you've got about a minute or so to do so. So I'm gonna allow you or give you the opportunity to wiggle around, to maybe come into a banana shape where you're lengthening through one side of your body, taking a few breaths and then switching. Maybe you have a favorite twist, or coming into a happy baby position, or a thread the needle by crossing your one leg over the opposite thigh. You might like to go into an inversion by sliding your feet up a wall if you've got one close by, or maybe just lifting your legs up into the air. Beautiful thing about yoga is it's yours. It's an individual practice. So you can do what you want and just try to support yourself in a way that makes you feel happier and healthier in your body in this moment. And then when you feel satisfied with that, we will dip into a short and sweet Shavasana, but the option is always yours to stay in your Shavasana and stay a little longer, especially now that I'm not going to kick you out of the studio. You can stay in the comfort of your own home on the floor for as long as you like. But as you come into this final resting shape, and you eventually close down the eyes, and you transition into a place of being rather than the place of doing. And your body becomes comfortably heavy. Your breath starts to flow a little softer, a little sweeter. And you begin to feel the benefits of your practice. You can sense the health and the happiness that you have conjured up for yourself in these 75 minutes. And allow all of the benefits to really seep in, not just into the body, though our bodies are obviously so important for our quality of life. The more freedom we have in our bodies, the less tension and pain and discomfort, typically the more comfortable we are in our lives, the happier and healthier we are. So it is very important to take care of the physical body. But you all know, yoga is more than just the physical. So feeling all of the benefits, all the power of your practice of connecting with your community, connecting to yourself. We'll finish this practice off with another breath in, communal inhale. Breathe all the way in. And if you like, you could sigh it away. Bring some joy into your body, some movement, some stretch, a little wiggle of the fingers and the toes, a soft rock of the head side to side. And then gradually, slowly, you begin to press yourself up to a seated position, and take your time to do so. There's no rush. I'm not panting, it's my dog. I just got home a little bit early. That's okay. You are wet. So, as you come to your seat, I invite you to keep your eyes closed just a few more moments, keeping that light shining in on your internal world. Taking a look deep inside, taking a little scan of your internal landscape, and just noticing how you feel. And for the last moment here, if you like, you can repeat the mantra either in your mind or out through your mouth. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free of suffering. Bring your hands together at your heart and take a moment to send some health and happiness towards yourself and to all of those who are practicing with us right now behind the computer screen or the phone or maybe the TV if you're super fancy. And to everyone else in Prince George who's not practicing with us. And then just send it a little bit further out to the surrounding communities. And send it throughout our entire country and kind of let it expand outwards in all directions until you feel the sense of love and compassion, and feel that you could send health and happiness to every being on the planet. And thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. I will unmute you in a moment. Namaste.